Hi.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another installment of TED Excellence, the show where it's two mints in one. Double mint gum something, I guess. And I come to you live from Crater Valley on the moon with Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to Thursday, the July 4th Eve, as it were. Actually, you know what? I just thought of something. You know what I should have done? What I should have done was, I should have changed my avatar here. 1 second. I prepared an avatar. I was going to use it tomorrow for Midnight's Edge in the morning, and I still will, but given the fact that I'm not doing a show tomorrow for 4th of July, there you go. There's more 4th of July scribe light as we lean into July 4th. A little patriotism for the day. There you go. Hope everybody's doing well on this July 3rd, 4th of July Eve, Independence Day Eve, Eve of Destruction. Well, I'll talk about tonight's subject and, well, speaker. I mean, the subject is, I don't know, but the speaker, the thumbnail, you'll see what I mean. If you didn't already see it in my thumbnail, you'll see shortly. But who's joining me on this beautiful Thursday evening? Advocatus Diaboli. Good evening. Who else is here? Everybody got their names back. I'm so happy. YouTube fixed the problem, at least for my channel, thankfully. Everybody got their names back instead of their code names. Old Guy Gamer. Good evening. I'm here, not as angry as I was both earlier and yesterday, but, well, I'm glad you're less angry. Don't be angry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Walter Tomaszewski. Good evening. Who else is here? Mike R. Hello. The Alexander. Hello. Adam Nixon. Good evening. Keeverdam. Hello. And thank you, Keeverdam, as always, for providing the link, guys, at the top of the chat box to the GoFundMe for our friend Angela Arriaga. She's starting up her own home-based business, so please take a look at that when you have the opportunity. If you can donate, please do so. But even if you can't, if you can share that out on social media, that would be appreciated. So thank you ahead of time for that. And thank you, Keeverdam, as always, for providing the link. Who else is here? Looking, scrolling. And Miranda Stone is here. Guys, I don't know if you know about Miranda Stone. I mean, if you've been around for a little while now, you probably do. But just on the off chance you do. JPS, good evening. C. Thomas Peasant, good evening. The Blakester, hello. Deadman, hello. Derek LaRue. Thank you, Derek LaRue, so much, as always, for your support and generosity. Very much appreciated. Hope you're having a good evening, and hope you enjoy the show. Anybody else? Scrolling, looking down the list. John Trioxon, hello. Kiro Soldier. Thank you so much, Kiro Soldier, for the happy, smiley Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox.
Wowie, wow.
Oh, there's a Keeverdam Dogcat Fox. Thank you so much, Kiro Soldier. Appreciate it. Frosted Glass, thank you so much. At least you didn't steal my stream title this time. I didn't steal your stream title the first time. I pointed that out quite specifically on Twitter. You have no case. Good day, sir. And thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Anybody else here? Vader35, good evening. And I think that's everybody. If I missed you, if you're lurking, if you're in the future, good evening. Yeah, so tonight... Oh, wait, one more. Red Feather 1. Good evening. Tonight, the title of the presentation, as posted to YouTube, is I Hate Drag, parenthetical, just kidding. Okay. And then the thumbnail for this one said something to the effect of how drag changed my life. But really, it wasn't the title, either one, on the thumbnail or otherwise. It was the presentation of the speaker, who looks like a Batman villain, or perhaps some kind of Victor Victoria type attempt. I can only imagine this will be some sort of biographical situation. I don't expect a whole lot of deep meaning or philosophical meandering around politics or science or who knows. But who knows? I've been surprised before, as have you. So that's about all the intro I have. Tonight's bingo card is bingo card B. B as in M. The winner of the bingo poll for the best, most significant, I don't know, gender-swapped role in movies and or television. And so if you'd like to join in on the bingo poll each week to choose the bingo card, you can follow me on X at scribe_light, along with all my other shenanigans, especially lately a penchant for making joke movie posters, because I just got into that. I think I missed doing all of the thumbnails for Lords of the Night back in the day, where I was always very creative and trying to make some kind of like movie theme to them. And I just fell into joking around with movie posters for Fantastic Four and Ironheart and The Accountant and other things. So anyway, just a side thing. But with that, I guess we'll get into it. This one lasts for just under 12 minutes. I'll start off with a few seconds for a sound test. Get your bingo cards ready, and then we will proceed.
Growing up in El Paso, Texas in the 90s, I was young, gay, and naive.
Well, I guess you were the full package. Guys, hear that okay? Let me know in the chat. What's this? He looks like Willy Wonka's secretary or an alien species from the original Star Trek. Yeah, I kind of... I mean, it's completely different, but I had two reactions. I thought it was like a Two-Face kind of thing from Batman. And then even though it's not anywhere near close, one of the things I thought of was... I forget the name of the species, but in Star Trek, the original Star Trek, where you had the aliens who had the... white on one side of the face and black on the other, and one of the guys was Frank Gorshin, the Riddler. I just thought of that. Maybe it's because of the tracksuit prom dress setup. I don't know, something like that. Anyway,
Coming out was difficult because of the times, and I did not know any...
Wait, stop. Wait. The speaker's name is Felony Misdemeanor. Okay, sure. Why not? Felony misdemeanor.
It was difficult because of the times, and I did not know any open gays until I went away to college.
Okay.
It was there at Baton Rouge, Louisiana, when I first came out, even though homophobia was not uncommon in the South.
You don't say. All right. Well, let me just predicate this by saying, yeah, being gay, well, in general, but also way back in the 90s and so on, yes, not the easiest time to be yourself. So, sympathies there. Where are we going? Now, do we have a childhood... growing up in... Well, I guess that is a childhood anecdote. Technically, it's pretty thin. Maybe there'll be some more family anecdote stuff later, but I'll circle childhood or family anecdote on the board because that's about as close as you can get. Also circling free space. Let's go over the bingo card real quick to remind ourselves what we are listening for. Remember, this is bingo card B. We have marginalized marginalization, self-vilification or wretchedness, contradicts own point or fails to make argument, feminism, microaggressions or unconscious bias. And remember, that has to be the speaker using those concepts within the context of their presentation, not that they possess them in some way, shape, or form. Privilege, benevolent condescension, weightless example or non sequitur, plays victim, collectivizes own demographic, economic disparity, deceptive statistics, that requires statistics, and at least requires the essence of it being a deceptive use of them, attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase, a list, mind reading or assumes motives, patriarchy, anecdote that probably never happened, diversity, equity, and or inclusion. Let's see. White supremacy, systemic or institutional, leaves out vital context, sales pitch for product or service, and lastly, word salad. So far on the board, we have free space and childhood or family anecdote. And Advocat is getting in early. Does 50% man and 50% woman count as deceptive statistic? No. No. Stop it. Just wait. Patience. Patience, grasshopper.
Going to school at Southern University was great, minus a few jerks in class who made higher learning a bit like high school.
I found that college, or at least community college, was just an extension of high school anyway, but okay.
Well, anyway.
I
had two friends, Farad and Daniel, and they were the gay doppelgangers of Cisco and Biggie Smalls.
Okay, whoever's laughing in the audience that's really cracking up, that guy's having a great time.
They named me Poca, which was short for Pocahontas, which is equivalent to today's Becky with the good hair. They showed me all the gay stuff. And just one night, they took me to a black gay bar, and I got to experience what it's like to be unapologetically black and gay as hell.
I can only imagine.
They took me to Oz, the legendary gay bar on Bourbon Street.
Oh, for a second I thought it was going to be the prison.
And I got to see my first go-go boy. My life has not been the same since.
Was that a punchline?
Last, they took me to Rawhide, which is a leather bar not far from Bourbon Street, and I got to experience my first dark room.
You know, I kind of feel uncomfortable listening to this. Like, is this... okay.
The Dora explorer in me wanted to know why it was so dark, but only a few flashlights. It was truly eye-opening. What I do remember is that every club was hot and sweaty, or it could have just been me.
Okay.
But like I said, these two gays, they took me to everything gay except drag.
Oh my God. Was that intentional or like a failing on their part?
So what is drag?
I have no idea. Please do edify me.
Drag is typically when a man dresses as a woman.
You don't say. Roll credits.
For entertainment purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, drag is an art form. Drag is an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Drag is fun. But drag is work.
Okay. I guess, you know my major curiosity is here. And I'm going to find out whether I like it or not. How do you fill 12 minutes with this? I mean, it's like, I'm gay. I like to dress up as a woman, and it's very entertaining, and I find I'm able to express myself in ways I haven't been able to before. It sounds like a 5-minute kind of spiel. How do you get 12 minutes out of it?
It is my career.
Is there insurance and dental in that?
So today, I'm going to tell you my story on how drag changed my life
I can't
and
wait.
how it allowed me to change so many others.
Great.
So sit back, relax, and welcome to my TED Talk.
Hey, everybody. Also, Jeanette E. Hellis is here. I like drag. I had friends who are doing burlesque and drag type stuff before. I mean, the concept doesn't bother me in any particular way. It's obviously not my thing, but, whatever. I just don't usually see the half and half Victor Victoria thing going on. So that's kind of what drew my attention to this. Plus the fact that, honestly, a lot of what TEDx posted this week was either in languages I can't speak or just looked boring. It's just, I don't know, maybe TEDx is losing its luster. It's not putting out anything really interesting anymore. Of course, I say that now and then, I already found something from TED Talks that I'll probably use next week if nothing else pops up. C. Thomas, thank you so much. Sounds like it's already going to drag too long. Thank you, C. Thomas. And Frosted Glass. Imagine reaction if he lusted over women like this. Yeah, double standard. maybe. This is a category in RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh, is it? Okay, admittedly, I've never watched RuPaul's Drag Race, so there's a half and half competition. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Jeanette E. Hellis, resident expert. Oh. Now, here's the thing. I want to before I continue, I'm going to predicate this by saying, if this entire talk is just someone saying, this aspect of my lifestyle makes me happy, I'm not going to have much to dunk them on. It's like, okay, great. I just hope it's something more than that. You know, I hope there's something at least a little bit insightful I can get out of this. I know this is TEDx. My hopes will be dashed, but you know.
It all started when I moved back to my area, and I finally felt comfortable enough to go to the gay bars back at home.
Uh-huh.
It was there at the OP when I saw my first drag queen.
The Old Plantation. That could be controversial in some areas.
I remember I was with my cousin Deborah, and as we walk in, we had to go up this ramp that you'd find at Elitch Gardens. And once that opens up, it opens up to a giant dance floor. And on that dance floor was a man dressed as a woman pretending to be Madonna.
Now see, it boggles my mind that even back then, someone could just exist in the world and, if I'm understanding our speaker correctly, never have seen or understood the concept of drag queens or anything like that prior to that, because just television and movies alone exposed me to the idea when I was a kid. So it seems kind of bizarre, but I don't know. Everybody's different, I guess.
You know, the Material Girl.
Yes, I know who Madonna is. The current generations might have to look back in time.
I didn't understand it at all. I didn't understand it at all to the point where I was confused by the whole thing. I had scrunched up nose, and honestly, I had feelings of disgust.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't understand it to the point where I didn't understand why a man would want to dress up as a woman and parade around. To me, it was weird.
I mean, I still think it's weird, but that's just because it's not my thing. It doesn't, you know, I understand it as a thing that people like to do. And in the correct and appropriate circumstances, it's entirely harmless. Doesn't bug me at all. So, there you go.
Why? I have no clue.
Yeah.
They weren't hurting anybody.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, they looked to be having the time of their life.
Mm-hmm.
So how did I, being confused and turned off, disgusted by drag, end up being a drag local icon?
I don't know. Tell me, oh, tell me true.
Later, I learned on that stage that drag queen, her name was Diamond.
Her name was Diamond. Okay, wait a second. Jeanette E. Hillis. Actually, where is this guy's padding and corset? I need hips and a bust scribe. Okay, well, Jeanette E. Hillis. You see, I read that one first before I read the comment above it, and so I thought to myself, wait, Jeanette E. Hillis, I've been looking at variations of your avatar for several years now, and you have both of those things, so what are you complaining about? Oh, you're talking about the speaker. Yeah, I was curious as to why there wasn't more of a, I don't know, maybe it'd be too much to make half of his body appear feminine and the other not. Maybe that would be a bridge too far, that the hair and the makeup is enough. But I don't know. It is what it is, I suppose.
How it came to meet Diamond, I have no clue. I have no memory.
Too much to drink?
Though I don't think people remember when an angel enters their life.
An angel enters... okay. I mean, everybody's got friends. Lancelot 652. Hello. Crowbar the Skull. Hello. JB, good evening. Anybody else I missed in the meantime? Did I say hello to the dead man? Well, if I didn't already, hello, dead man. And make sure I didn't skip somebody. If I haven't said hello or hadn't had the opportunity, please make yourself known. And I'll say hello.
She truly is an angel. I didn't hate the person doing drag. I hated the act of drag itself.
Okay.
But getting to know this person, and what drag really is, I later became her friend, and then I became her backup dancer.
Getting emotional.
Eventually, she became my drag mother. A drag mother like Diamond, she took me under her trans wings. She gave me guidance, the do's and don'ts of drag. She showed me how to sew an outfit, do makeup, pretty much what it's like to be fully invested into the drag scene.
It sounds like a very important relationship. Let's see. Hold on here. The chat's catching up with YouTube, I think. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Morgan King. Hello. He really thinks this is so fascinating and important. Well, I mean, it's obviously important to him. It's like, who am I to judge? I find things important that other people find completely ridiculous. So, there you go. But I can't help but admit, though, given the current climate around drag, and I'll be happy to be disappointed in this regard, I cannot help as if I'm being set up for some other shoe to drop. I can't say, don't know, but I'm wary.
She's the true definition of grace, strength, and beauty.
Okay.
I eventually followed her footsteps, and I became a pageant queen, and I won Miss Gay El Paso and Miss Gay Lubbock 2003.
Okay. Brag, 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 brag. Yay.
You'd think winning Miss Gay El Paso that I'd stay in Texas snatching trophies, but I did not. I moved here, to Denver, Colorado, of all places.
Why?
I thought winning trophies, snatching trophies, I would get a shoe in the community, but that didn't happen either.
Why?
Denver had its own cliques, and they didn't want any outsiders coming in.
So why are you here? Or why did you decide to move out here?
This was very apparent when I was trying to network and get bookings across the town, as no one gave me the time nor the day.
Well, I guess the drag mafia had a corner on the market. I don't know what to tell you.
It wasn't until a friend insisted that I do his show at Dazzle that I was finally able to showcase who I am to people who were forced to watch me.
I feel like I put myself into that same category. Oh boy. Okay, is this sales pitch for product or service? I mean, just this long form advertisement?
With this show, I was finally connected with the right people.
The right people.
They wanted to talk to me more. They wanted to hang around more, and they also wanted me to perform more.
Good for you. And?
So with this one show, my drag career snowballed.
I know, I'm a third grader. Pardon me.
I eventually became a regular guest and a cast member for Vivid, which is arguably one of the best drag shows to ever grace the Charlie stage.
I'll have to take your word for it.
A gay bar in Denver.
Okay.
My drag took a turn for the better when I met my friend and mentor, Nina Flowers.
What happened to Diamond? Woo.
Already having my own drag mother, she embedded some DNA, my drag DNA. Nina comes around to mutate that.
What?
Show me who she was. She allowed me to step out of my pageant sparkle and show the rest of the world who I could be.
Okay, all right, setting aside the subject matter, what is the point? Okay, I mean, if your biography is to illustrate something, you have to weave that part in at some point. Okay, we're literally halfway through your talk, and I don't even know what the point of this is except what I said at the top. I like dressing up as a woman. It makes me happy. The end. Which is fine. But where is the meat of this? I know I'm asking a lot of TEDx. I often do. Every week I'm asking a lot. The dead man, Sharon. Oh, Sharon is the black and white race from Star Trek. Okay, let that be your Let that be your last battlefield is the episode. Happy Independence Day. Well, thank you, Deadman. Yes, all I remember is this Frank Gorshin and another guy with their white on black, black on white faces, and it was, to illustrate, racial violence and tension and, sort of the Lilliputian type of deal. Yeah, by the way, Frank Gorshin, to this day, best Riddler. Just saying, no actor no portrayal has yet to top Frank Gorshin as the Riddler. So, just want to say that. It came up on Twitter the other day, and I just want to underscore that. Kiro Soldier, thank you so much. So, drag is a mutation, so it's DNA destruction, or it, gives you a healing factor and bone claws. I mean, it's one or the other, I suppose.
My drag changed a bit. I no longer was this beauty queen from the hood of Northeast El Paso.
Uh-huh.
My drag changed. It became more avant-garde and alternative.
I'll take your word for it.
I soon became a mixture of beauty, sexiness, horror, and humor.
If you say so. Is there anything in here that doesn't begin with I, me, or my?
It was during this time that I met my best friend and my first drag daughter, Minor Misdemeanor.
Oh, God. Woo.
Makes a noise for your sister.
Yeah.
Minor Misdemeanor and passed down my own drag DNA.
God, what? I'm sorry. God damn it. Why? He just opened the door for these things.
I taught her the grace and style and beauty of a pageant queen, but also to step out of sight of the box that she thinks she's in.
Okay.
But little did I know she was going to change my life more than I could change hers.
I can only imagine, and I don't know how much I want to.
She taught me to be more open, more kind, more nurturing, and more protective of others.
What is the larger point to this? Seriously.
She pretty much changed everything about me.
Great. Me,
and I will never forgive her for that.
Boys, I don't know. That one guy, you hear that laugh we've heard, that, whoever that is, I envy that man. His ability to enjoy an absolute lack of punchline.
Being felony misdemeanor, I've had some amazing opportunities. One that stands out the most is being one of the ever first drag queens to perform on the Red Rock stage.
Me, my. Okay, you know what? I am circling a sales pitch for product or service, whereas our speaker is effectively the product for performance and so on. So sales pitch for product or service. This is going to be a pretty sparse bingo card, guys. if he doesn't start expanding on some of these ideas or getting into some kind of psychology or history, hell, at this point I'll take a history lesson on drag as something at least informative. If this is all sort of an opening for that. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Can't think of a better group to read to children. I see, and this is what I was talking about earlier. I keep feeling like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. That there's something else on the way. It might not be. It might be just as shallow as I'm a drag queen, I've done a lot of things, and I enjoy it. And that'll be it. And if that is the case, this is going to be a short stream, or I'll do a double feature to make up for it. But
a stage that many of my music idols have performed on.
Like John Tesh and Yanni, I think.
And a stage many artists pray for the chance. For Drag Race fans, I was voted by RuPaul and the Nation as the first and only exceptional queen.
Oh, well, see now, Jeanette E. Hellis. Is that so? Do you remember this individual on Drag? I never watched the show, so you'd have to tell me. Woo!
Me and a few friends got to audition as the Spice Girls on America's Got Talent.
Whoa! This should just be called TEDx resume.
We got 3 out of 4 X's almost immediately. Yeah, it was terrible. This experience was terrible and exciting at the same time.
Oh boy, everybody's a comedian today. The Dead Man, thank you so much. Stop dragging my heart around. Are your heartstrings being tugged upon, Dead Man? Thank you so much. Oh boy.
And unfortunately, our segment never made it to air.
Oh shucks.
And most recently, me and a few friends got to open for Katy Perry for a private Taco Bell corporate event.
Oh, you mean the famous astronaut? Yay!
They didn't have tacos there. So like I said, being felony, I've had some amazing opportunities.
Great.
But to me, the most important opportunity
Yes.
was raising a whole community.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't until I was well into my drag career that I was actually able to use that platform to help the community.
How?
With this, me and my best friend, Thera, we opened a HIV testing center with Planned Parenthood called The Drop.
Okay, well, great. I'm not discounting it, but okay. Yay.
Our demographics were focused on Black, brown, queer, and trans folk, but
I'm looking at diversity, equity, and inclusion.
open to everyone.
Okay. Yeah. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Just kind of hits that nerve just a smidge. I mean, we're focused on these demographics, but really it's open to everybody, like, you know, an ERG or something. Oh, by the way, I have an ERG story. Maybe I'll save it for DEI Death Watch, but I actually felt like an expert on a different stream yesterday. It was kind of nice.
Having people that look like me come in there and say they've never been tested for anything, but to also get them the proper care and treatment and prevention, it was amazing.
Okay, well, you know, racial filters aside, I guess, I'm all for people being aware of their health status. So, in that regard, whatever the means are in this instance, I'll take the results, so to speak.
We know we were doing the Lord's work, winning awards and stuff.
Is that your focus, winning awards? I thought it was to seeing to the health of your community. Oh, okay.
Also, with my work in the community, I was offered the opportunity to help start Black Pride Colorado.
Black Pride Colorado. Yeah, I already kind of circled that, but I'm also going to circle collectivize his own demographic, because that's kind of happened now. So circling that one on the board. Just a reminder, this is bingo card B. So far on the board, we have collectivize his own demographic, free space, diversity, equity, and inclusion, childhood or family anecdote, and sales pitch for product or service. Woo! Wow! Wee! Wow! Woo!
Black Pride Colorado was created to celebrate, liberate, and engage our Black queer community.
You don't say.
By building resilience to honor and preserve our culture and history.
Because your skin color and your orientation define culture and history. Okay.
With this, we were able to reach an even bigger audience because people were curious. They were very curious. We popped off, as the kids call it.
If you say so.
I more specifically was a trans program director, and I quickly put together events such as HRT and Crumpets.
HRT and... Okay. Again, I, me, my.
Where trans folk of every kind got together, drinking expensive teas and eating fancy pastries, but enjoying each other's company versus living in past traumas.
Uh-huh.
We had monthly skate parties and name change parties.
Name change parties. Can't say I've heard of that before.
And of course, HIV testing and STI testing prevention was always provided.
Great.
A couple of weeks in July, we had a queer youth camp for little kids.
Okay, that's the shoe dropping. I wasn't sure, but... All right, we have less than 2 minutes left and burying the lead. Go on.
And for me, it was hot.
Pardon me a second. Okay. Maybe I paused too soon. Maybe there's some more context to this. Maybe. JB, there it is, boyos. Well, it's not looking good. it's not looking good. All right, let's try that again.
A queer youth camp for little kids. And for me, it was hot. It was dirty. I can't stand dirt, so for me, it was the worst experience of my life.
Okay, I will extend the benefit of the doubt that our speaker was literally talking about the temperature of a summer camp. And actual dirt. And those were not euphemisms in relation...
But it was rewarding and necessary. You know, we were doing the Lord's work.
You were doing... Okay, I'm not particularly religious, but talking about doing the Lord's work in having a queer camp for kids.
In awards and stuff.
Awards and stuff, uh-huh.
It wasn't until recently the mayor named June 14th Black Pride Day.
Oh. Yay. Yeah, imagine if he named it White Pride Day. Skin color Pride Day. Yes, take pride in something that has nothing to do with anything about your character or merit, is nothing you earned, is not a reflection of anything about you other than the biological nature of your parentage. Yeah, great. Yeah, wonderful. Racial identitarianism, everybody. It's great. You know, sprinkle it on your cornflakes. It does a body good, racial identitarianism. Yeah. Great.
It wasn't until recently that other well-established drag queens started to tell me that I gave them the okay to be themselves.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is just one 12-minute long verbal act of masturbation, isn't it?
I will never forget the day an individual said to me, "Felony, you saved my life."
You know, that's an anecdote I could honestly believe. Yes, have your emotional moment being praised. I'm sure it was very difficult for you to hear someone telling you how awesome you are.
Unless it's your profession to save people.
Oh boy, do not tell me you're going to equate yourself with a paramedic or something.
That's something you never expect to hear.
Yeah, well, I guess
I mean, what do you say?
You're welcome? Sure.
Standing here today, I should have said felony saved my life too.
Wow, so it's pat yourself on the back.
What I hope you get from this is that drag is not a crime.
I never said it was. It, in and of itself, is not a crime.
Drag is safe.
Context matters.
Drag is a community.
Yes, I know that.
Drag is my family.
I'll take your word for it.
Drag is my life.
I'm getting that sense.
And drag is here to stay.
Well, on that point, you're pushing at an open door. I don't care. And not in the sense that I don't care in that I'm, like, indifferent to your happiness, let's say. It's that it doesn't... I'm very libertarian on this point. I don't care. Go at it. Have fun. If that's all it is, have fun. Like I said, I've had friends who have done drag and burlesque and elsewise. I've been to those kind of shows before. They're entertaining. I go mostly to support my friends and things, but so, okay. I mean, if this entire presentation was being done simply as a statement of normalization for the sake of people who do drag, fine. But there was that one moment. a queer camp for kids.
But I will end it with this.
Please do.
I still personally hate drag.
So you're a masochist?
I find it terrible. I find it disgusting.
Oh, you're just joking.
I find it confusing.
Yeah, okay. I'm finding it confusing as well right now.
But only when it's bad.
Okay. That was it, guys. Yeah, that was a nothing burger. I mean, save for one moment of I kind of told myself so. That was nothing. I sense a double feature coming on here pretty quick. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let's see what we have on the card to begin with. Let's see. Marginalization. Our speaker... Oh, by the way, I'm going to go over the card one more time by myself. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, hold on to them, because I may just double you up pretty quick here. Marginalization. Our speaker, by his own telling, was marginalized by the drag community when he arrived in Colorado. So circling that one, does that seem to be part of the narrative? Self-vilification or wretchedness. I don't know if I hate drag said in a sort of sarcastic manner is self-vilification. But let me just say, absolutely nothing in this talk gave me the sensation that our speaker feels badly about himself. Everything was self-congratulatory and braggadocious. So I'll need a really good argument for self-vilification or wretchedness here. Contradicts own point, fails to make art. Well, wait a second. I take it back. He did say at the beginning, the first time that he saw drag, that it disgusted him. I just talked myself out of it. Okay, yep, no, that's... Took me a second. Had to think back. I thought back, guys. Corrected myself. Okay, contradicts own point, fails to make argument. What was the point? I like drag. Drag makes me happy, and I found a life and a lifestyle through drag. If that was the argument, I believe you. It wouldn't have taken you 12 minutes to convince me of that, but I believe you. So I'm not quite sure I can circle that one. Feminism. No. Microaggressions or unconscious bias. I hate to double dip, but he was talking about the first time he saw drag and he was taken aback by it and everything else. And I don't know. Do you think that's worthy of another circling? Does that make sense? Or is there another example? You guys tell me. Privilege. I don't know that there was a privilege in there. Benevolent condescension. I don't know if there's benevolent condescension, but like I said, there was a sure lot of self-congratulation going on. Weightless example or non sequitur. In a way, the entire talk. It just... None of it landed for anything. And half the things that he brought up as, like, brags, just like, okay, you did a thing and a stuff. Plays victim. Okay, now this one I'm going to have a hard time circling because... Setting aside the self-centeredness of the entire thing, the idea that being both gay in the South in the 90s and also a drag queen wouldn't necessarily, by society's mores and elsewise, both then and now, put you into a sort of lower or let's say, vulnerable status in society. I could believe it. So if there's a plays victim in there, I need to be given an example. Economic disparity. Did he talk about? I mean, he said that this is his career, but did he ever talk about money? I don't know. Deceptive statistics. I didn't hear any percentages or anything. No graphs. Nothing. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. Not that I heard. A list. I'm circling that one just because he basically read his resume out to us, and that was just a list of accolades and accomplishments and things. So even if it wasn't a numbered list, it was a list. Mind reading assumes motives. Not that I recall. Patriarchy, not that I recall. Anecdote that probably never happened. I can believe that he got all the awards and started all the organizations and took part in all the things that he listed. I can even believe that someone came up to him and said, "You saved my life." That none of that sounded beyond the beyond to me. I still am a little skeptical that our speaker was somehow able to avoid even the concept of drag until his college years. That still seems a little odd to me, but I mean, in the South, maybe there just wasn't much of it around, or maybe you never watched a movie. I don't know. White supremacy, not explicitly. Systemic or institutional. Well, he talked a lot about community. I don't know if there was much systemic or institutional in there. Leaves out vital context. Was there any vital context? Again, this was so self-centered. There just wasn't a whole lot to work with. And lastly, word salad. I'm going to circle that one just because it was just a constant refrain of self-congratulation without any real meaning to it. It's like, okay, we get it. You chose to do a thing and you enjoy it and you've had a lot of adventures doing it. And anything else? Anything worth mentioning? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay. Anyway, that's the card as I have it. Pretty sparse. But if you guys have any arguments for squares to be circled, let me know in the chat. If I miss your argument, please just repost it. I promise I am not avoiding you. Unless you're Advocatus Diaboli, then maybe I am. But Sassy Shelly is here. So it seems like pretty much anybody can do a TED talk about anything as long as you're so minority of us. TEDx has a very, very, very loose standard for what gets on stage. Different chapters, organizations, and so on that hold these things have different entry requirements. Sometimes it's a matter of pre-posting your presentation. There's some alliteration for you. On a message board in the months leading up to an event so that the community can vote on whose has the best presentation, and then they can put it up there. Sometimes it's all based around, the members of a particular institution. Like if a community college puts on a TEDx event, then it'll probably be students and faculty doing whatever. Sometimes it's based on a theme. You'll see the same stage over and over again where the theme is like, the future or something, and everybody has the word future in the titles of their talks, like the future of AI and cocoa bean farming, and what is the future without the climate, that kind of thing. But yes, long story short, anything and everything can end up on a TED or TEDx stage these days. Advocatus Diaboli, drag is not a crime, came as playing victim to the more puritanical amongst... Oh! Ooh! You know what? I agree. That's a good point. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Thank you, Advocatus Diaboli. Let's see. Frosted Glass fails to make argument after seeing this talk. Would you feel more comfortable with your kid getting involved in drag? Be honest. We cannot avoid that particular elephant in the room, can we? Because that was kind of woven in there, just very, very briefly and suddenly, and then never mentioned again, huh? Yeah. That kind of is the drop of poison in the soup, isn't it? Yeah. All right. I'll grant you that one. Yeah, because I was like, I really hope I don't hear something like that in this. I hope it's just somebody who has a pastime or a lifestyle or whatever, and they're happy with that. And for 10 some odd minutes of it of a 12-minute talk, I was like, okay, yeah, pretty boring. And then the shoe dropped. JB, thank you so much. I have an argument that this guy is a creep. He wasn't doing himself any favors there in the latter part of the deal. Wasn't doing himself any favors. Just we had the queer kids camp, and it was hot and dirty, and I hate heat and I hate dirt. I'm like, okay, innuendo in that context? No, stop. Let's see. Osan, Scribble, unconscious bias at the end where he said that drag's not a crime, implying people have a bias that is. As Advocatus argued, that goes into plays victim pretty clearly. I'm not sure. I see where you're going. I'm always hesitant to double dip on the same argument. I understand he didn't give us a whole lot to work with, but well, and I was also hesitant to double dip on the fact that he also stated his own bias previously when he first was exposed to drag as a concept. So I'll tell you what, half of yours, half of mine equals a one of sure. I mean, there was probably enough of thematically going on there that we can circle that square without too much trouble. So let me circle that one. All right. I see. I cut through that Gordian knot. What can I tell you? Sassy, how he called the kids' summer camp hot and dirty, and they all cheered. Actually, I don't know that they did. I thought, if I remember right, I think I was waiting for some cheering, but I didn't hear much. I heard a little bit of laughter when he moved on to saying that he hates dirt and heat and stuff. I don't know if they were cheering at the queer kids camp thing. I don't know. Draco Rincewind, is that the Ironheart villain? Could be. Actually, I think he probably looked a bit more resembling a recent Doctor Who villain more than anything else, but who knows. Any other arguments for squares to be circled? Osan could also be mind reading. Could be, but I didn't really sense any mind. This is all very much a brag fest. For the most part. How awesome I am. All the things that I've done. Look how successful I am. I, me, my. Frosted Glass. Leaves out vital context. How old were the kids at that camp? I didn't need any context. He didn't say like, summer camp for teens. So I took him at his word. Let's see. Keeverdam. Red Feather wants to know if you're going to cover the Lily Tino situation. I know of Lily Tino. I don't know that there's much to say that others haven't already said. I mean, I think Blair White put out a pretty extensive video the other day on the subject. And not quite my wheelhouse either. It's like, okay, we have a attention seeker weirdo also taking pictures and films inside a Disneyland restroom, which it's just I don't even know what I could say that doesn't write itself with your own observation. Did I miss you on that one, Red Wing? I apologize. I didn't catch everything. Okay, anything else, guys? Because I'm thinking, should I do a double feature? Should I do a double feature? I'm thinking I should probably do a double feature. Question is, do I have a TED item that is brief enough to not take us too far into things? Because even though I have the day off tomorrow, I do have to, unfortunately, get up early for a couple of things. So let's see. Do I have a brief... What do we got here? Now, that one's a full-fledged TED Talk. I actually have a TED Talk in the waiting in case things go sideways next week. Let me check something. I do have a vault. Did you guys know I have a vault? I just found this out the other day. On one of my old drives from my past computer that died on me. Some of you may remember the adventure of my computer dying on me. I had to switch drives and get a new computer and everything. And in the process of doing that, an old folder of mine kind of got pushed to the wayside. And I just discovered it the other day, and it's filled with TEDx talks that I sort of captured on the possibility of doing something with them, and I forgot that I had them. And so now the question is, can I find one that is short enough? Why? Give me the duration. I want the duration of these things. Why aren't you giving me the timestamps on them? Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. If I give what happens when I do a list? It doesn't show me the duration. Oh, for crying out loud. Let me try this. I don't know if that's gonna help anything here. What do we got? That's 15 minutes long. No. That's 14 minutes long. Oh no. Really? Is that... I apologize. I should have planned ahead for this. I didn't think this one would go so short. But that's just apparently the way of things. Users and that, and under videos maybe. There we go. Okay, is this where I'm going to get my list? There we go. Okay, so what we got? 14 minutes. No, I need something that's like under 10 minutes. 14 minutes, 13, no. 14, no. Boy, oh boy, a lot of 14s and 13s. 11, getting close. 19, no way. 10:51. No. 14. 7 minutes and 9 seconds. What is this? How old is this? You know what? I don't care. We're doing it. That's the deliberative process here on a Scribe Light show, everybody. I don't care. We're gonna do it. Okay, here we go. What is the title of this masterpiece from TEDx of the past? How old is this thing? I don't know. When did I? Okay. When, and I'm not kidding here, when mixin of color thrive. This is WOMXN, when mixin of color thrive. This is a TEDx from days gone by. I couldn't tell you how old it is, but it's 7 minutes long, so let's do it. I'm changing the color on the bingo card to orange for the sake of distinction. And wait. Okay, before I get excoriated otherwise. I missed your last benevolent condescension argument. Okay, hold on. 2 times you did that. Okay. Towards the audience, every 5 seconds it was, I'm super gay, hold for laughter and applause. And I don't know if that's benevolent condescension. That's starving for attention. I don't know if that's condescension. But okay, I have entertained your argument. I also missed Petra, for crying out loud, guys. Just don't tell me I missed something. Just repost it if I have to go searching for it. Okay, the drag community is led entirely by men. Is that so? Is that so? There are no women that dress up as men? Are you sure about that? I don't know. I've met both stripes in my day. So I don't think you can say entirely. Anyway, when Wimixon of color thrive. I don't even know if the sound on... Oh my god. I don't even know if the sound on this is any good. Oh, okay. Delthorn Women. Where's Delthorn? Listen to her. November 2018. Oh my gosh. Mystery grab bag, everybody. We are going back in time. Get out the flux capacitor. 1.21 gigawatts. We are headed back to the past. That's 7 years ago now. Holy cats.
How do you thrive in a world that wasn't created for you to survive in?
With a steady oxygen tank and spacesuit.
I was born to a Sikh family of refugees, immigrants, artists, entrepreneurs.
And?
But for a long time, I was unaware of my privilege.
Oh, well, privilege. There we go. Circling privilege on the board. From the Blast from the Past TEDx Talk.
My privilege of being lighter skin.
I guess you mean in relative terms.
Being able-bodied, being a cisgender woman.
Boy, I really am having flashbacks.
Having financial stability.
Okay, yeah, those are all privileges, huh? All right.
I grew up between Mumbai, Delhi, Kuwait, and Berkeley, California.
How are you wait, are you a refugee family, immigrant? How are you financially stable in that situation?
And to cope with the feeling that I never fully belonged in any of these spaces, I pretended that I did.
Are you going to cry now? Or, sorry, are you going to fake cry now?
But inside I had a lot of questions. And the ones that screamed loudest were, where do I belong?
Wherever you rest your head is home. I don't know. And I don't know. I've never found septum piercings at all attractive. I mean, sometimes I'm fairly ambivalent. It's just, one thing or the other. But in general sense, it's not something I find particularly attractive. But when I was growing up, there was between near to my house, there was like a horse field, and there was also some farmland we went to when I was a kid. And the first time that I ever saw something like that was a ring in a bull's nose. And so every time that I see a septum piercing, doesn't matter on whether it's on a man or a woman, the first thing I think of is that is something that animals get led around by. And it's like burned into my lizard brain. It's just like, eh.
And who gets to belong?
Who gets to belong? Oh, okay. Well, I'm circling plays victim. I'm also going to circle collectivize his own demographic, because I think that that also applies here. Boy, oh boy. Oh man, the old time TEDx's, we're going to probably get more bingos out of this 7-minute thing than we got out of the 12-minute one.
My mom, she encouraged my questions. See, she built a successful fashion business in India at a time where such a concept didn't exist.
Okay, so your whole sob story about being a refugee, immigrant, and everything else. So, so you're acknowledging your own privilege. Okay, so, and?
At least not for women.
So wait, how was she able to build a successful business as a woman entrepreneur?
I used to come home from school, and there she was, day after day, hundreds of sketches spread out across our dining table, a tailor's tape around her neck. Oh,
so she worked. She put effort into her job, in her business. Okay. More power to her.
It wasn't long before I'd come home from school and I'd sit at that table with her. And I would sketch out designs.
Oh my gosh. So you're like the sorcerer's apprentice.
And the sketching turned into writing poetry, turned into singing, turned into dance.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm watching the previous talk right now. I, me, my.
Into photography.
Yeah.
Turned into filmmaking.
Oh my god, what boy, you just ran the gamut. Trying to find your place. I'm seeing a theme going on here.
A USC study that analyzed 1,100 films over the past 11 years found that only 43 women worked as directors.
Wow. And so what is your conclusion from that? I'm getting ready to circle deceptive statistics.
Now, for women of color, it's worse.
Oh, it's worse. It's worse. Is that because in relative terms to population demographics, there are fewer women of color, and especially in such as a niche and grueling industry as becoming a film director in the first place? How does that compare with the overall population in the industry? Right? 43 unique female directors. Okay. Do women often go into film to become directors? Do you have any other information you'd like to tell us?
Only 4 black women,
Uh-huh.
2 Asian women, and 1 Latina worked as directors out of 1,100 films. That's 7 women of color total, less than 1%.
Oh my gosh. Obviously, guys, obviously. If there is a disparity, there is an inequity. So I'm going to circle deceptive statistics. Right? Okay.
But I was drawn to film because it has the power to create belonging.
Does it? Does it really? How would you create belonging through film?
And as much as the world was telling me that I don't belong in this industry,
No one was telling you don't belong. No one was telling you you don't belong. If someone actually told you you don't belong, you would be telling us that story right now.
my mom showed me that if what you want doesn't exist, that just means you have to create it yourself.
Oh my gosh. Well, you see, I was told that if I can't see it, I can't be it. But no, your mother's right. You know, this YouTube channel didn't exist until I just, threw caution to the wind one day and said, hell, I got nothing else to do. And I gave it a shot. So you're right. Sometimes you just have to dive in head first and see what happens. And it sounds like you went all over the place trying to find your place between fashion design and photography and acting and so on. So your great goal is to become a movie director. Is that it?
So I decided
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be a filmmaker.
Okay. And tell me how the entire world conspired against you to stop you from being able to do this.
I get to college and I immediately join all of the film groups on campus.
How are you able to do this if women are not allowed to become film directors?
But it's already a boys' club. And
No, you joined all of the... Again, disparity does not mean inequity. It's already a boys' club. Uh-huh. And I'll bet you, I know it's a crazy idea to think about this, but a very, very, very small, if at all, number of the men you interacted with in these film classes will themselves become directors because it is a competitive business and not everybody has the stomach for it or the time or the inclination, especially if they get to a point in life where they'd rather dedicate their time to raising a family. I don't know if you factored that possibility into your analysis of the percentage of women directors versus male directors, but just saying. Thank you, Kiro Soldier. I didn't have a novel series until I wrote it. Exactly. I mean, I'm working on a project right now that has absolutely no logical reason to exist except that I'm a stupid nerd. But it exists now. I'm formatting pages. I was formatting pages today. In about maybe 48 hours, unless something goes completely wrong, I will have a finished, completed project of a couple of weeks worth of writing and thinking about it and layout and all types of stuff. And it doesn't exist for any other reason than I got a bug in my ear to do it. I'll tell you more about that if you haven't already seen bits and pieces of it. I showcased part of it on a stream the other day. But yeah, just do it. And even if you fail, you'll learn something from it and you'll get better as long as you stick to it. But anyway, it's already a boys' club, so who is putting the obstacle up? Them or you?
And working in the boys' club meant just being in charge was seen as a threat.
If you say so.
This one time, I'm in the editing room and this guy I know comes in.
Okay, guys. Anecdote that probably never happened or not. Let's see.
And he says, I heard you're planning to apply for this position coming up. I'd appreciate it if you didn't apply because I really want it. But hey, if I get it, you can be my assistant.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You know why I don't believe you? It's not because of the anecdote in and of itself, although it's a little unbelievable. It's the fact that you started off this entire thing by showing us numbers without context. Numbers without other possible explanations. Numbers with just letting hang in the air that it was sexism that led to this result. But okay. Moving on.
After college, it's more or less the same, except now I'm also doing the job of 5 people and getting underpaid for it, even after 6 years of experience.
Oh my God, do you mean to say that you have to work your way up in the film industry? You know, there's this bizarre little documentary from years and years ago. It's called Operation Filmmaker. And I've got a copy on DVD. It's probably out there on like YouTube or the Internet Archive or something. It is this weird little documentary about I might need to be corrected on this, but I believe it was a young kid in Iraq during the Iraq War who had ended up being interviewed by like a film crew or a news crew or something and said that he wanted to become a filmmaker, but there was no opportunities where he was, and he had like a little camera and he's trying to do his thing. And this story inspired, of all people, and again, I'm reaching back now, it's been a long time, the actor Liv Schreiber, who you may remember as the guy from Phantoms, or Wolverine. No, not Wolverine, well, Sabretooth in Wolverine. Anyway, so he basically funded this kid to come out and work on a film set that he was filming a movie. And I think it was an Elijah Wood movie. I remember the poster, it had sunflowers on it. I forget the name of it. Somebody in the chat's going to remember. Anyway, they followed this kid as he was on the movie set. And you thought, holy cow, this guy came from a war zone and now he's working on a film set. And he was basically turned into a gopher. You know, he was just the assistant. He was like one of the, assistants, one of the gophers, one of the PAs, whatever. But this was not good enough for this kid. He felt that, getting coffee for people or running scripts around or doing this, that, and the other, that was work for other people. That wasn't work for him. He wanted to be the filmmaker. He didn't understand the opportunity he was being given to learn from the ground up. No, he wanted to jump to the head of the line. And so the entirety of this documentary is following this kid and his ridiculous ego trip and narcissism throughout the process. And yet it's so indicative of Hollywood in general, because he starts off as given the opportunity of a lifetime. He completely squanders it, and yet other people who aren't aware of the details of how he behaves, but just hear his story, give him more opportunities. He ended up, if I remember correctly, on the set of Doom with The Rock at one point. And I was like, what the heck? Anyway, I'm getting a sensation, and it's obviously my patriarchal reflexes. I'm getting a sensation from our speaker that she was expecting to just be handed something. I have 6 years of experience. 6 years of experience doing what? I mean, I've been in my job now for 17 years. And I'll tell you what, the first 8 years or so, given the circumstances, I could say I had 8 years of experience, or More correctly, I could say I've had 1 year of experience 8 times. So
Then Hearst Magazines comes along. They hire me to produce video content for one of their publications.
oh, okay. Sounds like a foot in the door opportunity to get some experience as a director and such. Okay, so an opportunity came your way. You took it, and?
I'm like, okay, finally, it's full time. I finally have benefits.
Uh-huh.
I'm still doing the job of 5 people.
Welcome to the wonderful... You know, the job that I have, now that I have it clocked, if it was handed over to... This might be a bit presumptuous of me. I don't think it is. But if my job were handed over to a millennial, you're sort of like stereotypical millennial or Gen Z or something, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. My boss would probably need 2 Gen Zs to do my job that I do alone. So it's all relative. But anyway.
But I'll take what I can get.
Uh-huh.
And around this time, I was also in the process of setting up a film production company.
Wait. So you're trying to find work as a filmmaker. You're doing the job of 5 people. You get a job making films, but you're also setting up a production company. Boy, oh boy, guys, can you smell the glass ceiling going on here?
With 2 other women of color.
Oh! Names unimportant.
Like me, they wanted something better than this boys' club.
So they wanted a racially and gender segregated club?
So we thought, let's create a space for us.
Right. Sure. Fighting fire with fire. Good job.
But I still had my full-time job. So one evening they call me up and they're like, okay, sis, when are you quitting? And I'm like, I'm not ready. I don't know.
They call you mean your partners call you up? When are you quitting?
The very next morning, and I'll never forget this, the very next morning, the bosses of my boss, who I've never spoken to before, they call up our entire team at work.
Yeah.
And they tell us we have 4 hours to pack up.
Oh, well, welcome to the wonderful world.
We were all laid off.
All laid off. Okay. So it wasn't something targeted at you. It was some kind of business decision. So now you had all the free time in the world to work on your production company with your women of color.
Right then and there.
Okay.
After the shock came relief.
Great. You had the free time to pursue your real dream.
The universe was giving me an opportunity.
Well, that's a very optimistic way of looking at it. Very glass half full.
To leave my seat at this toxic table.
Toxic a full-time job in video production. This toxic table. Do tell, why was it toxic?
Walk out and build a whole new table.
Okay.
And that's how Break Tide Productions was born.
Okay, sales pitch for product or service. I was wondering what was going to happen. Sales pitch for product or service. Boy, oh boy. This toxic table. Why toxic?
We're a film production company.
I gathered.
Owned and operated by women of color, and
that's your logo? You know, I think I have both of those fonts in my library and a blue gray. Okay.
Came together because we know our freedoms are intertwined.
Your freedoms are... What are you talking about?
And we settled on this name because we're on a mission to disrupt the tides of exploitive systems and create new waves where collective liberation is possible.
So you're communists. Okay. You are racial and gender preferenced communists. Oh boy. 2018, 2025, is there a difference?
See, if it was hard for me to get into this industry...
It wasn't. You want to talk about hardship? I didn't hear anything about hardship. I didn't hear anything at all about hardship. I heard impatience. I heard a sense of entitlement. I didn't hear hardship.
It's worse for Black and brown women and gender non-conforming folks with no support and no access.
Really? Okay, well, this is 2018. I'll just let you know that things sure improved in that regard in the ensuing 5 years or so, because it was forced to. And yeah, how's the film and entertainment industry doing as a result of that?
So here's how we change that, and you can do it too.
Oh, I can't wait to hear retrospectively.
One,
Oh, that's a list. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Circling a list. Okay.
predominantly hire women of color and
Wait. Stop. Hold on, wait. Say that one again.
we predominantly hire women of color and underrepresented folks.
Oh, okay. Well now, thank you for that public admission. I'd like to introduce you to Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I know, it's a crazy thing to have to do. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 makes it unlawful for an employer to discriminate against someone because of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. So by you telling us that you predominantly hire people on the basis of their race and their gender, you are at the very least implicating yourself in possible civil rights violations in 2018. So thanks for that.
And we pay them equitably.
Whatever that means.
Two, we encourage each other to ask our worth, and the financial transparency between us creates trust and solidarity.
Whatever that means. Also circling economic disparity on that one. And I'm about to circle word salad.
Three, we exclusively partner with businesses that have ethical practices.
Define ethical practices, because you've already implicated yourself in civil rights violations, so I'm not quite sure what your judgment is when it comes to assessing something as ethical.
And that invest in diverse storytellers.
Okay, well, diversity, equity, and or inclusion. Circling that one. And I'm also going to circle word salad. Because, well, it's my show, and I can. All right.
And four,
Yeah.
we care about each other, and we create a work culture that allows us to take care of ourselves, which means absolutely no 15-hour shoot days.
Yeah, which means absolutely not working any harder than we absolutely have to, guys. I mean, we're serious about this industry. We're serious about this art form. I'm not putting in extra time. Yeah, was she waiting for a laugh track there or applause? She sure didn't get it. Thank you, JB. Kurosawa almost killed himself at one point. He came back from it and made, I'm going to mispronounce this, Kagemusha, with George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola producing it. Get good. Yeah. She so far has not impressed me with her dedication to the art form. You know, all great artists are a little crazy, but they're also insanely dedicated and passionate about their craft. I haven't heard anything of that from the speaker. I've only heard activist talking points. Mike R., a list. Yes, a list is circled. A list has been circled, Mike R. Yep, we have a list. Let me read off what's on the card so far for this talk. I remember this is still bingo card B. We have privilege, plays victim, collectivizes own demographic, economic disparity, deceptive statistics, free space, a list, anecdote that probably never happened, diversity, equity, and inclusion, sales pitch for product or service, and word salad. Surprisingly enough, we do not have a bingo yet with either the first talk or this one, but we are closer with this one than we were with the last. And we're almost done.
Women of color know what it's like to be undermined and exploited.
Okay, plays victim. Did I already circle plays victim? I already circled plays victim, pardon me. But I'm going to circle feminism because she's very focused on uplifting women in particular.
And that's precisely why we're best suited to lead us all forward.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to circle marginalization. That's what that fits in. That's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Because when we're in charge, we implement practices that help the most marginalized of us,
Hey, well, if I hadn't already circled it, I would have circled it just then.
and that ends up helping everyone.
Oh, except for those, non-15-hour workdays with your passion.
The work that we do
Uh-huh.
is so much bigger than representation.
I don't believe you. Because so far, all you've touted is representation.
This is about a redistribution of power.
Yeah. Do svidaniya, comrade.
So, for all of us with privilege, let's update our titles.
What? How should I update my title?
From allies to co-conspirators.
Oh, man. I really am having flashbacks. Boy, oh boy. Next, you're going to tell me I'm complicit in the structures of white supremacy.
Because when women of color thrive, when the most marginalized in our communities thrive, everyone thrives.
Do they really? Well, rising tides lift all boats. Is it really? I wonder where Break Tide Productions is today, since this is 7 years back now.
And in case you're still wondering, how do you thrive in a world that wasn't created for you to survive in?
What are you talking? Nothing you have said so far has told me that the world was created not for you to thrive in. What are you talking about? You have listed no meaningful hardships that either aren't commonplace amongst people or in some cases, as you've already said, privileged beyond most people. What are you talking about?
Well, you don't.
What? Wait, stop. Hold on. Let me back up a little. Let me listen to that one again.
You're still wondering, how do you thrive in a world that wasn't created for you to survive in? Well, you don't.
Then how are you on that stage? How do you have your own production company? How are you the employer of at least enough people that you can decide who and who not to hire on the basis of their race and gender? How does that work?
You create a new one.
You haven't created anything new. You haven't created effective communism or anything.
And this new world is being built as we speak.
Uh-huh.
The question is, will you join us?
Nah.
Thank you.
Okay. I can't help but be curious. Break Tide Productions. Are they still around? Let's see. Okay, breaktide.co. Okay. We produce original and commercial content to disrupt and democratize storytelling, expand access to training and equipment, encourage, facilitate, and produce grassroots movement, increase understanding, and ignite collective action. We work equitably and ethically. Well, there you go. Any films that I might have heard of? Pardon me, guys. I apologize. I'm on a different page here. Let me get rid of that real quick and let me share this. Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. Standing Above the Clouds. Oak Lead. Short documentary streaming now on POV. Feature-length documentary Hot Docs 2024. Bill Nempton Award for Best Social Impact Documentary, Doc Edge 2024, Best International Directing Special Mention, Film Ambiente 2024, Best International Cinematography. Wow. And then feature-length documentary. Okay, well that's 2 films. Okay, commissions. Breaktide accepts a limited number of commissions each year that align with our mission to amplify and support the talent and brilliance of the global majority. Oh, so Asians? Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, what's that? Okay. Well, services. Breaktide is a full-service film production company based in California, New York, and London. Wow. Holy cow. They got a Instagram, Vimeo, and Facebook. Contact. Oh my gosh. Do you have a Twitter account? No Twitter account? No, that's too bad. Breaktide is an all-women of color-owned film production company rooted in intersectional solidarity. Our current films address issues of environmental racism, human rights, and indigenous sovereignty. And where's our speaker? What happened to our speaker? Wait a second. She was there a second ago. Hold on. There she is. Rhea Puri, cinematographer, director, editor. Rhea's extensive production experience includes being a 2016 semi-finalist at Sundance New Voices Lab and a published photographer in Vogue magazine. Boy, what hardships. She has shot and directed a range of award-winning feature-length films, talk shows, and shorts. Growing up between Kuwait, India, and California has fueled her passion to create films with an emphasis on social impact. Okay, well... they're still, as far as I can tell, they had awards as of 2024, so they're still cooking. All right. Well then, with that being said, let's move on to the bingo card. Get back to the wonderful world here. All right, so let me update the bingo card. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, guys, hold on to them momentarily, and I will get to you. Also, before I miss it on the thing, C. Thomas, thank you so much. This Breaktide fact looks very unserious. I mean, It's a website. There you go. They're still around, I guess, doing stuff 7 years on. So good on them. I mean, it's not an easy industry to, maintain a business in. So anyway, self-vilification or wretchedness. Nope. Contradict own point, fails to make argument. What was the argument? That, I'm circling fails to make argument because I kept waiting for this tale of real hardship or anything, but it just sounded like everything that she wanted to do, she ended up doing, and nobody stopped her. And even though it's not part of the presentation, her business is still going, so it's not like the boys club came along and made it go away. They have award-winning films. So microaggressions or unconscious bias. I'm going to circle it because of her story about the guy walking in and sort of saying, hey, you can be my assistant. Even if I don't believe the story, she was at least expressing that as part of her sales pitch for this talk. Do we have a bingo yet? Am I missing a bingo? I don't think I am. Okay. Benevolent condescension. I'm sure there was some in there, but I can't think of a clear example right now. Weightless example or non sequitur. Every single one of her claims of difficulty or hardship or passion for the industry without wanting to do those 15-hour days kind of thing. Attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase. I didn't hear anything new. Of course, it was 2018, so nothing would be new at this point. Mind reading assumes motives. Part of me wants to circle it for the whole reflexive, it's a boys club thing. Or was it just me, or was there an implication that when she got laid off, it was, maybe I might be stretching too far on that one. Patriarchy, oh, certainly. It's a boys club, it's a this, that, and the other. Yeah, that's easy enough. White supremacy. I mean, it's implied by her focusing so much on women of color, etc. But she didn't come right out and say it. So diversity, equity, and inclusion obviously is pretty easy, but white supremacy is very specific. Systemic or institutional? Well, she talked about how society was telling her that she couldn't do this, that, and the other thing. So I'm going to circle that one as systemic and institutional. Are we really without a bingo yet? Wow. Yeah, we're just missing it by a smidge. Okay, leaves out vital context. Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road because, yeah, she never really did tell us why she was in a position of hardship, how she was oppressed, how she was downtrodden. So finally, after all that, we have...
What? Bingo! Yeah!
Of course!
We have ourselves a bingo. All right, so I'm going to leave it there, guys. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, put them in the chat now. And please don't tell me, you missed my argument. I'm going to ignore all you missed my arguments now. I am not going to go through the emotional labor of scrolling up and looking for your argument. If you have an argument, put on your big boy pants or big girl skirt, as the case may be, and just repost your argument. Advocates Diaboli, a childhood anecdote when she told us about she was raised by entrepreneurs, artists. Oh, that's right. That's right. She talked about her mother. You are correct. Did I not already circle that one? I did not. Okay, well then. If we circle that one, you know what happens then? Oh my gosh, guys. It's a double bingo. Can you believe it?
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy cats. Any other arguments for squares to be circled? JB, seriously, I got nothing. Oh, you got something, JB. You have your personal integrity. That's what you got. Not many people can say that. K. Roberts. I don't think I already said hello. Hello, K. Roberts. Triple bingo. What, did I miss something? No. Well, I mean, we have 3 bingos so far. Yes, we got one there, we got one diagonal, and we got the other one down. Yeah. Unless my eyes deceive me. I don't think so. But yeah, so far, 3 bingos. Okay, Frosted Glass. Benevolent condescension. Apparently, women of color need a company that breaks civil rights hiring laws in order for them to make it in the... you know, I like it. I like it. No, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah, nobody else will hire you, obviously. So, all right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I had a dog, and his name was...
What?
I had a dog, and his name was...
Of course!
Quadruple bingo. Oh my gosh. This 7-minute 2018 TEDx is the gift that keeps on giving. I'll tell you what. Those were the days, guys. Those were the heady days of TEDx. When everything was an activist event. Everything was just laden with buzzwords and victimhoods and all sorts of stuff. Stuff we take for granted today. That's almost become old hat. Oh, man. Any other arguments for squares to be circled? Because I'm going to have to wrap this up pretty quick here, guys. I do need to actually sleep tonight. Advocates Diaboli. Black and brown people need their own space, sort of hints at an attempt to fight white supremacy. Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's true. That's true. That's true. Assumes motive. She assumes she and her friends were passed over due to racism and or sexism. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, between the two of them, that is 1, 2, 3 bingos. If I'm not mistaken, with those 2 squares circled. Oh my gosh, guys. 3 bingos? Do I have enough bingo stingers for this?
Won't somebody please?
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O.
Okay!
Right?
Bingo.
What? Bingo! Yeah!
Of course! Of course!
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Good golly, we're just We're 2 squares away from a blackout on this thing. If only she'd been more self-deprecating. But she never vilified herself, and there was absolutely nothing new that she brought up as far as buzzword or buzz phrase. I think we've hit the proverbial wall, guys. Frosty Glass, can we give this TEDx an award for efficiency in covering squares? I will grant it that. I'll grant it the special efficiency and ridiculousness award for 7 minutes that nearly covered an entire card. She just needed another couple of minutes. But the thing is, I would have been surprised if she'd said anything that could be classified as self-vilification or wretchedness. Throughout all of that, just like our first speaker in the first talk, it was all very much a patting myself on the back, and I'm using that as a euphemism for something much more salacious, session. So, there you go, guys. I think that is the limit, not only of the card and of the talks, but also of our time here together, everyone. But that doesn't mean you can't continue the adventure, if you'd like to, over on the Discord server. Yes, everybody, if you don't already know, I have a Discord server. A link to the Discord server is in the chat right now. Just click on that link. You'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you just have to say the secret word. The secret word will tell me you're not a bot, have actually watched the stream, and have thus earned the right, the privilege, the entitlement to join the Discord server. Today's secret word is duality. There you go. That's a good hello, duality. Just say hello, duality, on the Discord server, on the landing channel, and I'll know that you watched the show. Outside of that, you can find me on Midnight's Edge in the morning tomorrow at 9:05 a.m. Pacific Time, noon 05 p.m. Eastern Time, where we'll talk about movie news and probably talk about the passing of Michael Madsen, which is very sad at, 67 or something of a heart attack? Ugh. Mr. Blonde. Mr. Blonde. Oh, and the second guy in the silo at the beginning of War Games. Oh, man, that sucks. Heart attack of all things. What else? Oh, yeah, by the way, I don't have a link to it. Or at least I didn't have a link before I started the show. Let me check real quick, because if I do, I will put it in the chat. And are you a fan, or do you remember the show Quantum Leap? Well, if you did not know, my friend, there we go, come on, Price of Reason live, yes. Does he have a show going? Yes, he does. He has a show that he does every Thursday where he goes over an episode of Quantum Leap, and then he and some other friends review it, sometimes including Script Doctor, if you're a Script Doctor. So the link to that stream that's going on right now is in the chat. Go click on that link after the show is over with, and you'll find yourself over there. If you end up over there, do say hi to Bryce for me, and say that Scribe sent you, and I'll appreciate that as well. Elsewise, everybody, I should be here Saturday at 12:30. No, wait, sorry, my time's right here. 3 o'clock Pacific Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Time for Dog, Cat, Fox, and Friend, where I'll go over some news stories of the week. Okay, I think that's all the plugs, guys. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone here is so well behaved. You have very, very little to do. Everybody who donated either to myself or to the GoFundMe pinned to the top of the chat box for our friend Angela, thank you so much for your generosity, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please leave a like and or subscribe on the way out. And elsewise, everybody, hope you have a good rest of your Thursday night. Hope you have a good Friday tomorrow. If you have the 4th of July off, enjoy your 4th of July off. Please be safe if you're playing around with firecrackers and such. I don't want to find out that anybody lost any fingers or appendages by the time Saturday rolls around. And otherwise, everyone, hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.